Today, we talk to Abdul Fatoma, Chief Executive Campaign for Human Rights Development International, and today we look at the Saloon Personal Data Protection Bill, where I propose law we therefore protect privacy and of people data and also personal information. Good morning and welcome to the program, Abdul Fatoma.
Good morning, Musa, and thanks for having me.
And also the studio, I want to welcome Professor Sheikh Omar Kamara, Director of Community Relations and Developments from Marampa Mines, where they can talk about CDF payment and also the community intervention. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Saloon.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay, continue for stay with we will come to you shortly. We start with Abdul Fatoma. We therefore talk about the Saloon Personal Data Protection Bill. We bill, as I mentioned earlier, when I propose law on how people they collect data, keep them, process them, transfer them for public safety and privacy. Once again, good morning.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Abdul Fatoma, we don't get you now the studio for can talk on human rights and other issues them representing CHRDI, but today therefore talk about a bill. How Fatoma come into a bill issue for the public?
Data protection, human right, one of the fundamental human rights issues. And how come Fatoma get a very strong legal background from first degree to masters, and then anything regarding legislations or law they are concerned to me, then my entire work life on human rights issues, bill related issues, and these are policy issues. As a trained policy analyst from Harvard as well. So
the bill it is with the Ministry of Information as it is now. Whose role Abdul Fatoma gets into this bill?
It's not about which role Abdul Fatoma, which role Campaign for Human Rights and Development International they play. So last month we launched advocacy campaign, around promoting the passing of the data protection bill, and we start back this process inside 2021 to 2022, when the government been there about for pass the Cyber Security and Crimes Act. We been making public recommendations that these two bill by them need to go concurrently together, but the government I think having the Cyber Security and Crimes Act it be more important to them, but we been they look at and say, as a country we not get a data protection law, and the significance of data protection, it help for protect you personal information, it help for prevent people the way you go register to an institution. If the other person asks and he say, hey, but no worry, I get Musa Kamara in detail, then he pass them detail, then they, carelessly, and then know that say they infringe on your right to privacy. In as much as the constitution of this country get a provision for privacy and tap interference into your electronic communication, but however, a lot of other countries then get the DPA, the Data Protection Act, we help for build confidence in you as a person, that if somebody process your data, they use them for a specific reasons, and then reasons and they then save. And it also could help for bringing accountability that organizations that will hold your data. For example, so many people then develop sickness and try for get access to health centers, and by the time the nurse within that community where they work at that health center, either in man or in best body, they don't share the personal data of the patient. They automatically, when somebody make plan in that neighborhood, the sickness way if will be a confidential thing based on in personal data record way the health center they hold, then they take course with. But if we get a data protection now, it dey help a lot. It also help customers them, where they access facility from the service provider like bank, insurance company,
So for
telecoms. Yes, sir.
we go can look at the benefit of this bill. When it
No,
comes
these are just the importance.
Okay, we can look at some proper one. Look, I'll take you back. You see, the process start in 2021 to 2022. We will not start this process. Before we can look at the difference between the Cyber Security Act and the Data Protection Bill. Why do you think is responsible for the long delay for pass this bill?
And we should be get government and then get that answer.
But you as person we
No,
as
we as
nation-
organization,
yeah, you as organization we don't dey campaign
Yeah.
and he say una don't dey support the passage of this bill.
Yeah,
You don't work around the bill.
sure.
What are some of the issues them or reasons them we don't cause the delay since 2021 to date?
That again,
From una own perspective, una don't dey follow the bill.
we are role now for make sure say we advocate and lobby both the executive and the legislative and the owners of moving forward and lie with the responsibility of the government of Australia. And the government of Australia will be the right and appropriate person for tell the people of this country why since that time to now they're not able to do that. But like I said previously, that say we make a public suggestion through with policy brief where we've been the advocate for the two building by then the cyber security and crimes and the data protection. But however, one go through, then the other one not go through. So why it not go through? That's solely the responsibility of the government of Australia. So as a civil society organization, we hold them accountable for that, and we continue for kickstart immediately election done. We move into the other year, we see say no significant progress no day. Then we start for engage, and now we don't engage the government and the Ministry of Information and Civic. Don't make a commitment to we meet on one earlier this year, and they also don't set up a technical working group. We currently that technical working group they review back the draft, and we organization they contribute to that greatly. We want to look at the human rights framework around the bill, and we also want for ensure that say it meet up international best practice and standards.
You talk about public suggestion.
Yes,
right?
please.
Now for seek the opinion from the public with regard the data protection bill. What don't be the response from the public so far with regard this bill?
Currently, we interaction with the public is very good. I think, say, even you, and it could be very good now. You get confidence and assurance that this country, say, if you attend a workshop in this country, you get a law will protect you, say, the way we organize the workshop. If the law suggests, say, now only 3 months if I hold you information, meaning your telephone number, your email address, your name, then after that 3 months, if you find out, say, then still hold that data, you can able now for go to the regulating body for seek a compensation for that, for holding your data unlawfully without your consent. So we go able to get a fair play in how people use with personal data in other countries, and this is very sensitive. You get a case now Ireland, for example. This man been live in Ireland, and then he decide for move from Ireland to the US. So he asks Facebook, say, I want Leone move me information from Ireland now, make me details, everything about me posting, let it only show now the US. And because Ireland data protection regulating body fail for subpoena Facebook, it take action against the Irish regulating body, and then it began for get a compensation. Similar thing happen in England.
Okay.
Similar thing happen in Germany. Like the European Court of Justice, they deal with a lot of caseload on the use of data, and people personal data through the data protection regulations across the European countries.
Your organization don't be the lead advocate for this bill, and you get the Cyber Security Act. were they in place? When you talk of the data, what's not the difference between the data protection bill and that of the cyber security? Because earlier on you talk, say government will more prioritize the cyber security act or bill than the data protection.
Well, two they go together because mostly now we data almost surface within a computerized system, a digital system, than a paper base. So when you talk about a computer system, that you talk about cyber, and you get a data security as well. When at the cyber space, the host, they ensure and guarantee you say you data them protected, but you data it come about you bio information. For example, your date of birth. These are part of your data. Your name. These are part of your data. Your height, your blood type, you I don't call you height, and you talk about the color of your eyes. These are all a part of your data. So their informations there that you personal and private informations. If anybody they use them without your consent in countries that we get data protection law, it don't violate their laws and this. So every personal information about you, these are your data. And data can be other informations as well for there. They also know now we how much they inside the studio. That also na data.
Now, Abdul Fatoma, you earlier mentioned say the 1991 Constitution gets a provision for data protection and also protection of privacy.
No, privacy.
Yes.
No.
Whose difference this bill they create from Section 22 of the 1991 Constitution? We say we provide for privacy in terms of communication, electronic, and other data business there.
Yeah, that interference. They try to prevent people from interference into private communications. Like for example, one bad things the way people then they do in this country because Android phone them mostly or some Apple people them as well go use them. We the moment when I begin for talk, they don't put the phone on recording. The Constitution clearly prohibits that. That when me and you two they get with private conversation, you not get a right, for do the anything in there. So then in a private communication and part of your privacy, this now you data like where I don't say just not to your colleague. Now Musa in biodata where they inside in passport. Immigration began for process a lot of information, personal information from you. NCRA don't process a lot of personal information from you. Mobile companies and then also know they ask for national ID card. So automatically they don't collect a whole personal information on you. So then personal information, the data protection bill or the act, they now put measures in place. How, for example, if one political party grab a ask say, NCRA, we need some people then chiefdom, boom chiefdom, Bond district. So some people the way they Madina boom na bomb district, we want to get information on them. And NCRA maybe somebody where they work this is not just example, very careless and take that and give a political party, and the political party able for know with dynamics in that village. Looking at the age of these people there, how the family then connect. So without anybody now that we achieved on the in knowledge, now this law can able for bring NCRA accountable and also bring financial losses to NCRA for sharing people then personal information without the consent of the people then from chiefdom. So basically, this is good for business, this is good for individual, it's good for media houses, it's good for civil society organizations. So even when with the civil society organization they do survey, we they also bring this law cable for give a protection to people and say when you they capture them people they have the information. Certain informations and they for putter. If you putter, you need to get a consent. So if you survey not get that disclaimer and getting the consent form signed by these people for using their personal data And then when you pull, you survey, then people then personal informations and they definitely then able for hold you accountable. So like like one word where I like for use, but I mean it's around with practice, reckless. So recklessly you cannot use the people personal data as how you want or how you feel. So when you get this in their regimes and you see that say a lot of businesses then get confidence. Like now you get institutions like Marampa. They engage in a lot of data, exchange within the community people them and the land owners them. So Marampa now want for do a transfer. Maybe somebody don't take over Marampa mines. Then they want for do a transfer. If a data protection law they in place, Marampa no they just grab. If them people then they not be ever sign consent say, if Marampa they sell, then for transfer then data also to the successive company will go buy Marampa. So if that consent form they not be ever signed, then Marampa grab is share the personal data of landowners to somebody who want for take over without the consent of them people then they can come together through the law and hold Marampa mines accountable. This is just an example. Whether we get a clear.
Will they come to you, Abdul Fatoma? The program na Good Morning Salud, they come to you from 98.1 FM. Will be done introduced earlier. Professor Sheikh Umar Kamara, in a Director of Community Relations and Development, na the Marampa mines, and therefore talk about the CDF payments and also the community development interventions. Then once again, good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning.
Well, Marampa mines na iron ore mining company we they operate na put local districts na the Marampa chiefdom and they extend to Mafoki chiefdom also, and they mine iron ore as I mentioned earlier. Initially na been SL mining, but later they changed to Marampa mines. But this company don't they do different programs that part of the mining what they do also involving community development. Well, last year they been pay CDF to where President B.O.B. go and over to the community people how far the implementation don't go of that and how far they don't plan the next CDF payments. Make we get Sheikh Omar Kamara na the program. We look at from that small background what I don't get about Marampa mines, then he always say a man best servant is himself. Take me through Marampa mines operation the Port Local districts, specifically na Marampa and the Mafoki chiefdom.
Good morning again. MML, Marampa Mines Limited, na very serious, responsible, and responsive company in this country. Then the mine iron ore na Lonsare, not to iron ore, not to all kind iron ore. This is na high grade iron ore, what we call Marampa Blue. Na Marampa in the mine, but the entire process also involved Mafoki chiefdom because now then they go ship the iron ore. So with regards to the community, we get two host communities. We get Mafoki and we get Marampa. And there are two actually they participate in which we call the CDC, the Community Development Committee. You mentioned just now say last year, then we'll give money, not to last year, actually now 2022, President Biogo we will give the biggest money we then this don't ever see as what you call CDF, Community Development Fund. Now been 38 billion. So Marampa mines MML, they mine the Marampa and intend for continuing for mining for a very long time.
Now, you don't talk about una operations and how long una don dey mine na the Port Local districts. Today we there for the CDF payments. When you talk about CDF payments for listeners and viewers of Radio Democracy, what will they talk about and what in our stand now on the CDF payments to the operation communities them?
Okay. CDF itself means Community Development Fund. So the company by law forgive 1% of in FOB revenue to the community. Whatever the money, that 1% they will not know what it mean until we know how much the company make. So, but now 1% the company for give, and now CDF. The community now in get the responsibility for identify and needs them, we then can call felt needs. And the Community Development Committee, CDC, we get another committee inside we then call the Community Development Steering Committee. Now then they manage this money as well. Now then they make sure say they implement the projects and way the community then they come with.
Still around the issue of the CDC and also the CDF, the Community Development Fund, let's look at some of the activities them where the Marampa Mines Limited or undertake. Now both Mafoki and Marampa Chiefdoms. With now some of them things here, so where you go point fingers say yes, now this the company don't do as development.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. We don't do, and we continue for do a lot of projects inside Marampa. We currently do the town hall, the Lonsar town hall. We do the clock tower. We solarize, and we put solar for all the host them, all the villages, now the concession area. So now about 729 houses now there. We don't put cable already. The battery then don't come. Therefore just install them, so that the village people them picking they will get light for read when they come to school. The people them get side for charge them phone. They don't get for candles. We also don't give 600 and some scholarships to university students as well as technical and vocational students.
Then supporter where they make mention of, is it part of the CDF couple or not part of una your commitment as a company owner they give to the people?
No, this now just the CDF, the Community Development Fund.
So this are what belong to the people and waiting them forget.
Yes, Community Development Fund and the projects and then the CDAP, Community Development Action Plan, get your own money. We take for bill like this year, last year, we do wells them, we do VIPs, now they're in public places. So the CDAP, now they use and the company own. The CDF, now the 1% we then they give to the community for development. But we now know say, then development are okay, they know they happen. But Marampa make sure say, inside Marampa and Mafoki, then development here they take place.
Some of the things them way you don't identify, say the development activities them that way don't they happen Mafoki and Marampa Chiefdom. Now the one way belong way from the Community Development Committee. What are the things and where the company go point say this now we don't do for the people of Marampa and Mafoki Chiefdom?
Okay, the company own we don't think of CSR, right? We made it. We don't do wells for about 14 villages. Don't do wells for them. We don't do VIP and well at the town field inside Lonsar. We don't do another well, another public shell, a public place. We don't give furniture and other school materials to schools. We also continue for do things like refurbishing schools. So the company itself, they do in own, whereas the Community Development Fund, in get own projects as well.
They can look at the projects them way the CDF couple don dey implement since the Anobaram 2021, where you earlier mentioned say na 38 billion, we still them projects are not completed. We can look at that where you make mention of the community center and also the clock tower still incomplete. But look at the 38 billion. How would they calculate this money? Say now this belong to the people or this na the 1%. How would they calculate? You say now after import and sales.
Well, yes, you see, government involved in this. Government and the company, they work together. So, where the company, they ship, the government know. So, at the end of the year, they know almost, they don't make. They calculate 1% of that. 1% of that, na the CDF. In 2022, the calculation been say, $1.7 million now the community gets. Now that 1.7 million now go to 38 billion at that time in 2022.
Go ahead.
Yes, so the calculation we talk about is based on that is the money where the community they get depend on how much the company make.
Okay. 2022, the Anoba this 38 billion to the community as the CDF payment. You make mention of the projects them where this 38 billion CDF the handle, we one at the clock tower, the community center, and also solar project for 20 communities them where the mining they take place when a consensual community them. From 2022 to date, them projects are still not completed, and the couple we mentioned now a huge couple. What is responsible for the delay in the implementation of community development projects? Them now that part of the country we una the pay CDF for.
Thank you very much. This is not the first time this community they get money for community development since 1933. So because this is the first time, the people that were involved in the management, they no get experience for do a lot of things. So then we begin the money, they begin project, they advertise here for this, for bid, for this. Then go to, then they realize say, then get for change. Then get for do the right thing. Now that 10 day now then begin come hire or employ a procurement officer, employ this, employ that, begin afresh. The whole thing get for begin afresh. Because Marampa Mines want to do the right thing. CDC want to do the right thing. So now this beginning afresh, now it cause the delay.
Would that end in the CDC, when the Community Development Committee of Marampa Mines CDF for implement the Marampa Mines CDF couple?
Okay, we get about 19 representatives from the community. We form the CDC. So you get the traders representative, you get Poloko District Council representatives, you get teachers representatives, you get all kind representatives. Then you get the steering committee with the chairman, when I'm the chairman of the CDC, you get the two paramount chiefs, one from Mafoki, one from Marampa. You get 4 representatives from the company. Now then people here, and you get the women's representative. There then people here from the governing body of the CDC.
We still get Abdul Fatoma, when the Chief Executive Officer for CHRDI. Don't you talk about the data protection bill? Fatoma, as we talk now, who's this bill there?
Currently, the Ministry of Information and Civic, and like I said earlier, we meet with the minister. The minister make a commitment from the government that the government will in this time round, inside this first quarter, for ensure say the bill go in parliament, and we don't also engage parliamentary leadership where we talk about the importance of this. Then we organizations that get stakeholder dialogue engagement around this bill, like researchers, parliamentarians, government officials, and we therefore also engage the private sector, and we go do them thing and day. So basically, the bill there at that stage. Then the good thing is that the government don't make a commitment to we, and during we campaign meeting with the minister, and we happy that they don't give we a time frame, and we attend the technical committee meeting, the first meeting, the 16th of this month.
Okay.
We also, the technical committee members, set up a time frame. So we're looking at March, April, that the bill will go, na parliament. So hopefully before the end of this year, if all goes well with the work we to go on around this, and we can able for joyfully happy that you personal data are now safe.
Well, Fatoma, this bill, not to the first time this way, under the push for CC government passed this bill.
Yes,
In 2021 to 2022, now do similar engagement for CC government passed the bill, but government be more prioritize this cybersecurity bill than the data protection. And you talk about the recent engagement where you don't get with both the government and also the legislature when at parliament. You see that willingness for say this time around government go pass this bill?
Yeah, we see the willingness and we see the commitment, from it, because we currently like I say, then share the draft with we. We currently review the draft from your end as organization, and then we go also make we comment them, and we comment then the factor within the human rights framework, how, because we also want to see the fairness of how organizations use your personal data. I mean, security sector go say that for security reasons, then they collect this data and then they use them for otherwise. So one for see say them balances and they come in. So the most significant thing why make we day into this stuff for ensure that say your right to privacy is guaranteed and your human right is protected.
Salon get infrastructure for implement this bill if he come to force.
If it come to force, most institutions get, and then the country they move towards that as well. But most institutions get a cloud system as to how they save you information, and this help now. Like for example, the way we parent them and schools and they display people them result. They see somebody they taking picking result, who's a name day in date of birth, in height and everything display on our social media. You can as well display the AAs and where you picking get or the 1 them without displaying in date of birth and other things to the public through the digital web, like the social media platform like WhatsApp or Facebook. So even you own picking self, you for protect in your own data as a parent, and schools them. Some people then they the exam papers and then I treat them mommy the way they say rose casada or granite. You name the day and if you fail or you pass, the mark the day and you index number all day. So if you like WIEC for example, then pass paper the way some mommy don't write the name or then get the answer sheet where people the name they outside to the public. They say they want to get rid of her, and the best way to forgive somebody where they say granite. That all go stop. So it also go able for bring a lot of progress in terms of transparency and accountable way as to how we self-manage we own personal informations and how businesses manage with personal informations and how we they transfer other people then informations to businesses. Okay. Because you might not know how many people currently they harvest and sell you personal data. Like you just you receive some text messages them, and you start for wonder how somebody gets your number.
Okay. Abdul Fatoma continue for stay with you inside the program. When we come, we will continue for look at the Salon Personal Data Protection Bill. We una the push for now, make it pass now Salon. We come to the other studio guest, Professor Sheikh Omar Kamara from Marampa Mines, the Director of Community Relations and Development. The una get activity expansion launch and also CDF payments. Give me an update on that.
Okay, on Friday, 24th of January, the President of Sierra Leone, they go to Marampa for go do two big things. One, it will commission an expansion of the mine to which we call M3.75, meaning the company they can begin produce 3.75 million tons per year of high-grade iron ore. That will be the first time it will happen on that side ever. The second big thing is that the president they go present formally a check for 2023 and 2024 to the communities, and the amount will be just like the 38 billion we've been given for the first time, the biggest ever. And this one will be even bigger than that one. And so both events will be very, very big. And it will be the first time that they happen in Marampa.
In the CDF, now most money will they talk about? For
which one did you talk about?
The president will go give this Friday.
The president not talk it. Even let me can't talk now. The president then get for pronounce the amount before anybody talk about that.
But we compare them to the past one. Which one big?
Well, I don't tell you one before. I will make you tell me. The first one has been for 1 year, 2022. This one now for 2023 and 2024.
So that means it's double.
I don't know if not double. All I know is it big past that first one day.
So, in terms of the expansion we talk about, how important be this expansion for the mining company and the mining sector in general?
Good question. The expansion will mean the company they enhance in capability for produce iron ore means a lot to the community, the company, and the country. One, more tons of iron ore means more money to the communities and even more money to the government as well. But more importantly, this expansion, they change the face, the nature, and texture of the mining process in this country. The company gets for a state-of-the-art SAG mill, SAG, we mean semi-autogenous mill. Now, some kind rotating cylinder where they refine ore. We'll get that one day now, set up. Get a new plant. And the technology with this company don't inject into the mining process, it makes sure say we, MML, don't take the lead for reshape, refine, and renew mining in this country.
So this expansion, you don't start, or when did it start?
They go launch. They don't do everything now. The machine they don't do, the SAG mill they do, the new plant they do, the president they go tour and see all the things here where they don't put in place.
Now we look at the last CDF still in implementation. President they go give again for 2 years, and you look at towns like the Tindata, McBeal, and Compound. When una operation they take place, often they shake now the communities here, and community people think they deserve more. The project starts when we start 2022, or with the CDF or CDC then start 2022, still not complete yet. What you want to do as Marampa Mines for ensure say the community the more they mine, the turn them where they affected, the people who are affected benefit from the mining activity in that place there?
Well, in the first place, you dey talk about two different things now. You talk about the blasting where they take place, where people then complain, say, they host, then they shake. Then you talk about the community development fund. Okay. The blasting, waiting they happen, we then blast, people then complain. We, at the mines, community relations department, we go to all the places where they complain. For say not true, say then they also they shake. We invite mining for come which way. However, there is a machine we then call seismograph, where they measure the sound as well as the waiting setback of the blast. Then they, as far as we're concerned, we don't observe them. Then they give me a report every time they blast. It no go one day, it no go beyond the limit. There's a legal limit where you forgo. So the problem we get with the people then was this machine no they go beyond the limit way for me. The distance from the place where they blast to here is far. So how we will prove say this thing they happen? So that day we day, now the problem that one day say we they go there sometimes host on the shake, but the people then they complain say they host the shake.
When they live now the host there, so
the
if you host
then
the
they
shake,
complain say
they
they host the
complain.
shake. So my own argument was the people then they complain. Then we go sit down there with them blast for see waiting they happen. Because then the people they did at the host. If they say the host they shake, you will know they did, which you go say. So yes, the company is very, very concerned about that, and they take action for make sure say the people they know are affected adversely.
So how true say would I get a land dispute with the Kabia family? They can confirm that or deny land issue?
Land issue?
Yep.
No.
We're not getting no case with
I'm
the
not
Kabia
aware
family.
of any case, land issue case with the Kabia family. No.
As a community
But
relations
there is
person,
no, first of all, there are many Kabia families.
we are not involving with any
Dispute,
case. I mean land case.
land case.
Yes.
No. What do you mean by land case? Maybe you need to be clear about what you
We get land owning families.
Yes,
And the Kabias now
we
land
do.
owning family.
Yes.
We are not get no issue with them.
Right now, nothing. Nothing no deal with the Kabia family land case. I don't know what you mean by land case. Whether the company take land where not pay for, or they work in a land where they not approve them. I don't know. Me don't know of any land case with the Kabia families. That, in any case, there are so many Kabia families, different families. I don't know which one you talk.
When we come back to you, they look at the impact assessments or the impact of now mining on communities and also the benefits where community they drive from una activities then because the headquarters town when Lunsar, the risk concern is tackling that community where contrast to una mining site where when you enter the light daily 24 hour but outside the community is dark. We'll come back to you in name now Professor Sheikh Umar Kamara, Director of Community Relations and Development. Now time for make we go on our Facebook page and also now we 0779819819 line and take some of the messages and this one from Alim Sise say 1% is really small for the community. Don't forget that mining those areas damaged people's health.
This one from Mark 10 Mystic Nadwazak said the declaration of the public health emergency is a clear indication that the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and their partners should do the needful by putting mitigating measures in place so that we can not get the Ebola experience.
This one from Mark 10 and New England Bill say one thing I love about this data protection bill is that the bill will make sure the government does not have to set up a new agency to implement it, but strengthen an existing institutions like the Right to Access Information Commission to carry on with this mandate in line with international best practice.
This one from Alim Sisse say if the company can pay 1%, which is 30 billion, that means the company made 3 trillion loans. This is a sad for our nation.
This one again is a Professor Kamara. There was an incident at Marampa Mines October 26, 2024, in which one Mr. Kabu allegedly stole electrical cables of various sizes valued of 526,146,000 leones while he was employed as an electrical at Marampa Mine. What is the latest developments?
This one from Mark 10 on New Englandville says Samuel Matia was murdered under unclear and violent circumstances in Waterloo. I'm happy Sludge has unequivocally condemned the violence, also emphasized the importance of safeguarding press freedom and the lives of journalists who work tirelessly to inform and educate the public. I commend the Sierra Leone police for their diligent effort and will continue to monitor the case to ensure accountability.
This one from Abubakar Rashid, this person, I say good morning 98.12 na thank you for make a member me teacher na Ahmadiyya Secondary School and Kisido Kiat Shekumar as he fondly called. He was a good teacher indeed.
This one again from Mark 10 say one thing I love about this data protection bill is that this bill will make sure the government does not have to set up a new agency to implement it, but strengthen an existing institution like the Right to Access Information Commission to carry on with this mandate in line with international best practice.
The last one for me for now I say is the MML involving this one they say what's in una take on community relations and also the health and well-being of the people and environment assessments. From the messages that will come to Abdul Fatoma for a response quick one, and we come to Mustafa, we come to Sheikh Omar from Marampa Mines. Yeah, we can respond to messages then.
Yeah, I think that one message and the person like they follow the process, because one of we argument with the government before that for let NCRA no host or regulate the data protection bill, they know they under them the right to access, and with that we can able forget fairness and transparency into how we collect data and how we use personal data, but this is a thing where it requires a lot of public education with the government, civic engagement with the citizens, get for more increase, because we talked about the storage limitation of personal data. For example, if you get a cause with an institution, if for archiving sake, they say then they keep that information for 10 years, and after 10 years, they no longer hold that information. But if you attend a workshop where you go sign your name, then for the purpose of that workshop purely, now for that number you name for this, so the expiration of that workshop that you name for be destroyed, now that organization in archive. Like for example, we go to radio stations and then they tell we follow, we take down names, we register. So the purpose of visiting where you they register, you need for tell we how long you they keep this with information, where they sign with name that you register. So, and you get it also the other thing, pet, when are the privacy enhancing technology. Like we don't forget technological equipment, then we will actually help for protect people and personal data. People that will host them. You get some organizations and get a whole list of database of people. Like now you go NACIT, for example, you go immigration, you go civil registration, and you go now the banks them. We data and they all over currently without a law we really protect we informations and where the organizations they are. So with this bill going through for become a law, and can now able for guarantee you about whether they hold you information, how we go able for hold them accountable.
Thank you very much, Abdul Fatoma. We will continue for the get updates for Muna on Muna stance for ensure say this bill pass. In name na Abdul Fatoma, Chief Executive Officer for the Campaign for Human Rights and Development International CHRDI. We come to the other studio get Professor Sheikh Umar Kamara, Director of Community Relations and Development for Marampa Mines. You can respond to messages then we come for you quick one.
Yes, with regard to the thief, the case in law and what. So right now I don't get any update on that. With regards to the community relations, if you now notice, during the time of London mining, and she say you go loan Saturday, every month major strike been happen. But for the past 5 years, no major strike no happen alone, sir. Why? MML gets a system of robust engagement with the community. For example, a day na community information center every Tuesday and Thursday. Everybody they come. You don't need appointment. Just come for bring you problem, bring you concern. We take them. If we not able to resolve and we take and go to the company for resolution. Then any side you did, who they go to the villages,
yes, go ahead.
We do that. Any concern we person raise, we try for resolve that immediately. So the relationship between the company and the community is healthy right now.
Okay. Now we round up the program. President will give another CDF Friday and launch una coming. But the concern of people of Marampa Chiefdom, mainly Lunsar, they want lights. How this go help them forget electricity in their homes then?
Well, that light business, you don't tell you one light. Now they miss a bomb. You don't tell you. And right now, with the FED forum, the CDC don't pass, don't approve the street lights. Then would they work right now with some companies for bring lights in Alonso? Right now, as I did talk.
Okay.
What is going on?
Thank you very much for joining me in today's edition of the program. One for wishing all the best in our launching on Friday, and also the CDF. I hope we will know the money after the president go to launch. And see no great with.
Thank you very much. The president will tell you on Friday, huh?
Okay, Professor Sheikh Umar Kamara, Director of Community Relations and Development. Plenty thank you for joining me.
Thank you.